most traditional networking just sucks ass. You got a bunch of broke people sitting around trying to sell each other. So here's what I'll tell you. The only way to make networking successful is you got to be able to go out and drum up your own business. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Donnie Boivin here, CEO and founder of Success Champion Networking. And I want to jump in before this episode gets fully going and let you know that this is a special, unique episode. We typically interview some of the best around the world, but we thought we'd highlight some of our amazing members inside of Success Champions. So, what we did is, or I should explain, every Thursday is part of your membership inside of Success Champion Networking. We have a session that's called Becoming a Champion. It's a 1 hour training where we teach, we train, and you get a lot of opportunities to network with all the members throughout Success Champions Networking. So for this episode, we asked them to come up with a bunch of questions to ask Kevin and I about networking, sales, business development, and let's take a deep dive into uh, some of the things that we found that are not your traditional networking thoughts and are more of your top tier elite networking strategies. So enjoy this episode. Shout out to all the champions inside of SCN, man. We just really appreciate you guys. And I'm telling you, if you're listening to this and you haven't visited a chapter yet, you need to make that happen. All right, Kevin. So you and I have been networking for a ridiculous amount of years.
Let's not use years because we don't need to share how old we are to everyone.
I mean, if a millennial is watching this, then or listening to this, then they're going to instantly turn off because they realize they're talking to two fucking grandpas. So, the biggest thing that I found is most people don't actually know what networking is. And truth be told, networking was created by a bunch of broke ass people that didn't know how to sell. I mean, literally, if you go listen to the story of the biggest networking organization on the planet, he literally tells you that he lost his number one client, had no idea how to get new clients. So he had to bring a whole bunch of people together to hopefully could introduce him to new business. I mean, so the idea of networking. And let's also be honest, we all found networking because our sales were fucking up and we weren't bringing enough business in. So we go to Google and we type in, how do I find more clients? And networking pops up. And all of a sudden, like this holy grail light beam comes out of the sky. And we think we found our fucking solution to networking.
Or people are like, oh, I don't want to do cold calling anymore. Right. Oh, I don't want to prospect. You know, this networking, they think there's this easy button thing where they can go, oh, I network and now my pipeline's going to be filled. That's not how this works. It's literally not how any of this works.
So today, what we're really going to walk through is just a lot of the freaking strategies and shit we do that really takes networking completely out of the box, give you some new ideas and things to talk about. And we're also going to do this in a really unique way. So we run Success Champion Networking. We have the fastest growing networking organization on the planet. And every Thursday, as part of that training, we do what's called Becoming a Champion. And when inside there, this is for all of our members to come and attend that event. So for the first time only, I've got almost 30 people staring at me on screen that we're going to allow them to ask us questions as we talk about networking. So they're going to join in on this, but you'll get a feel and a taste for what happens every Thursday inside of Becoming a Champion, which is inside of our Success Champion Networking thing as a whole. Kevin, why don't you start us off? And I really want you to talk specifically about trigger words, but do it as it's a first time meeting somebody. You're sitting down, you're having a virtual coffee, one-on-one with somebody else. How does somebody use trigger words to really get that conversation going and open doors for them?
Yeah, trigger words is super key to being able to figure out how you can actually make introductions and quality introductions and quality referrals to people. Most times when you get into a virtual coffee, people are really super focused on telling you who they do business with and who they need to meet, but it's all demographic focused. It's like, yeah, I meet with these types of businesses, or I meet with, my ideal client is a woman who's in her 40s and has 2.6 kids and is looking at doing this. And they give you all that specific demographic stuff, which is really awesome. It's cool to be able to paint that picture. But for me to be able to actually make really good introductions and get the right people talking to my referral partners and my networking partners, I need to understand the trigger words. So specifically, what words are your ideal clients saying that's going to let me know that, oh my God, they need to meet Nicole. Oh, this person so needs to meet Jeff. What things should I be listening for? And people are so used to just saying, oh yeah, I want to meet the business banker. Well, okay, why? How do I know it's the right business banker? So what I tell people when I'm training on this concept is I want them to think about what the significant life event is that is going on in their world that makes them say, oh my God, I need you. All right. And then with that event, so for example, let's talk about realtors for a little bit, because they're one of my favorite examples for this. A significant life event for an ideal client for a realtor is someone that just got hired as a new C-suite member in a company in a different city. So that is the trigger event. Major life event. They got to pack up their whole family, move them across the country. You got to move the household, the cats, the dogs, everything, the hamster. So that trigger event is really cool. But then the next step after that is, all right, so what are people going to say that lets me know that that is happening in their world? What are those trigger words? What should I be listening to? What questions should I ask to find out about if that's going on in their world? This morning, I was working with a visitor in one of our groups who's actually from a university, and he's a outreach specialist that works with businesses in their community to place their graduates. So we were talking about the whole talent pipeline concept and how businesses manage that. So we got really into, all right, so what's going on that causes them to have a pipeline issue? And then, all right, so how do I ask that? And those trigger questions, to get the trigger words that come out, are really key, because especially in some industries, you have to ask it a certain way or you're going to get in trouble. I had a member once who did healthcare and weight loss for women, and she couldn't understand why she was not getting introductions from the members of her group. And I was like, well, 80% of your group is men. We have been taught over years and years.
We're not telling you, hey, my wife, if she's fat, can you work with her? You can't say that.
Yeah, exactly. We are not going to go up to a woman that we know and say, hey, I know someone you should talk to. That is not a conversation we've ever been trained on how to do. And she's like, oh my God, I never thought about that. I'm like, yeah, you got to teach us what we need to listen for, and then what we need to say in that situation so we can make the introduction and not get slapped.
Yeah, I love it.
Because that's the thing.
Oh, we get literally smacked around. For me, one of the things that I used to do when I was doing sales training is I would tell people I'm looking for the companies that just did a rebranding of their company, because usually they'll think about all the colors and all the stuff, but they don't think about the sales strategy of the rebranding. So it was a good place for us to stick in. Or we would tell people, what companies do you know that are proactively looking to hire a vice president of sales or a sales manager? Because those became key trigger moments for us, for people to go, ooh, I just heard about XYZ company who's looking for this. It was a great place for us to slide into those particular conversations.
Yep.
So what people need to understand is when you do a virtual coffee, the goal of that virtual coffee is to open doors for the other person. And try and make as many freaking introductions to that person as you possibly can. And it blows me away the number of people are like, I'm doing all these virtual coffees, but I'm getting nothing out of it. I'm like, well, who are you introducing people to? How are you opening doors to people? What are you doing to help other people out? And they're like, well, I go in and I tell them about me and what we do, and I find out about them. And then they walk away from the call and there's nothing happened. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing on the call? Right? Go open doors for people. It's crazy to me. All right. So we're going to open it up to a few questions from some of the members here. So they're raising their hand to ask these questions. And so they're going to introduce themselves, name of their company, and their questions. And the first one up is Miss Hildy.
Hi, I'm Hildy. I sell swag for a living. Name of my company that I work's Geiger, but everybody knows me as Hildy.com. And my question is, how do you inspire people to show up in these meetings in order to be successful when they just joined SCN and they've never networked before?
Love it. Love it. So it's really interesting to me that people will sign up for something and then do nothing with it. I've never understood the logic behind that myself. But if you're going to spend $47 a month, do yourself a favor and show up. But I've found that one of the coolest things you can do as soon as somebody joins is for as many people in the group as possible to grab a virtual coffee with that person and start making as many introductions for them as you possibly can. The volume of those introductions right out the gate. Remember, we're not talking referrals. Referrals means, you're given an introduction to somebody and there's a sales call attached to the back end. An introduction is two people go meet. I think some good synergy will happen and you'll probably have a great conversation. And so maybe some good things will come out of it. So when that new person joins a chapter, as fast as you can, get them as many introductions as possible, and they're going to see so much tremendous value. Because one of my favorite things is when I hear a message from a new member going, holy crap, I joined SCN and my calendar filled up.
Yeah.
They're like, I literally had to stop taking virtual coffees because everybody was opening doors for me. So it's just been the fastest, trick I've seen. Kevin, you want to throw anything at that?
Yeah. So this is the part of the meeting where I get to say my favorite phrase to Donnie. Not everyone's like you, Donnie. So, a lot of times when people join a new organization, they don't know what is acceptable. They don't know what's appropriate, how they should be acting, what their behavior should be. They want it. They want their membership to be successful. It's not like they're like, oh, I'm just going to sit back and do nothing, but they don't know what to do. So it's really key to get them active right away and kind of someone to take them by the hand and help them understand, hey, this is what a virtual coffee is, and set it up and help them figure out who they need to meet with in the group and introduce them to this whole concept. Hey, you can go visit the other groups. You need to come to becoming a champion. You need to go do these things. That's the whole reason we created that group mentor position within the leadership team, was to help those new members figure stuff out faster, because no one wants to look stupid. No one wants to look weird and not do the things that are expected of them. So a lot of times people will, instead of going out on a limb and risking looking dumb, they'll kind of sit back and kind of wait and figure stuff out. So if you have that person, your group mentor, or if that you want to do it because you love doing virtual coffees, you get that new member, you should be reaching out as soon as you find out that they're a member and say, hey, let's do a virtual coffee because I want to figure out who I know that you need to be introduced to. So, helping them get involved is really super key. Otherwise, they may be timid and be a little shy and hang back.
Love it. Love it. Next up, Miss Christy Phillips.
Hi, I'm Christy Phillips, and my company is a Little Bit of Apparel and Promos. We're here to help you with all your promotional needs. My question is when you are out networking, how do you get away from the small businesses to the larger businesses? Because I network 2 times a day, and I will honestly tell you it's all small business mainly.
Love it. Love it. Great question, Christy. So here's what I'll tell you. Most traditional networking just sucks ass. You got a bunch of broke people sitting around trying to fucking sell each other. So here's what I'll tell you. The only way to make networking successful is you got to be able to go out and drum up your own business. If you cannot sell, networking is going to suck for you. So most times what you're going to find is to get into the bigger networking groups and conversations with people who are doing bigger deals and opening bigger doors means you've got to be able to bring value to that room, right? So you've got to literally be able to go out on your own, cold call, cold prospect, go sell and find your own business and be able to bring that business back to your network. Because if not, you'll just feed off the network and they'll stop inviting you, stop letting you be a part of it. And what I find is most people, they're only relying on networking because they think networking is going to be the thing that grows their business. If you only network, you will fail, period, in a story, right? Networking is a portion of your business development strategy, not the entirety of it. So if you want into the big rooms, you'll get invited into the bigger rooms when you're able to go after the bigger clientele, because you're going to start talking and having bigger conversations with people who are doing these bigger and better, more awesome deals. And just what I found over the years, especially when I was doing a lot of local networking, is if I went out and just looked for all the groups, I found all the small broke people who couldn't sell. And so it was all desperation. So what I started doing is I literally started going out, getting my own business, finding other people through other networking events and everything, and bringing them into my world. And that's basically how we created SCN. Was we were just bringing a bunch of badasses together that could sell, bringing them again and say, oh, cool. Let's all go be badasses, go out and sell, and let's bring that all back together and let's help each other rise up. That's worked really well. Kevin?
Yeah, you have to network up. If you want to get into bigger businesses, you have to be networking where they're at. You can't be networking in a room that is full of MLMs, for example, because they're never going to get you into.
Dude, it's a surefire way.
Want.
If you walk in, there's an MLM there, just walk out. It is not worth your time.
So you need to figure out where those people do their thing. So you need to really understand who your prospects are and who your clients are that you want to be working with, and then figure out, all right, so where do I find them? Do I need to get involved on a nonprofit board? Do I need to get involved in a certain organization? Do I need to be, one of the Donnie's things that he did was he got on the board for a construction professional association. He didn't want to sell to the construction companies at all, but he got on the board because now he had access to them and he was now valuable to the people that he actually wanted to sell to. So you really need to understand how you get access to those people, because that's going to really shape how you go network and where you need to be doing your networking. Donnie and I came to Fort Worth last year around, it would have been a little over a year ago, for the Cowtown Warriors Ball. And that room was filled with all those bigger, higher level individuals. So, it's finding those types of events and those causes and those activities where those people congregate and they network, because they know, hey, this is going to be filled with the people I want to interact with. You need to be getting into those rooms as well. So you really have to be doing your homework on who you want to be networking with and getting in front of, so that you can find where they're doing and what they're active in.
Yeah, dude, that's such a great point. A lot of those bigger networking things, you're going to pay to get into them. I mean, like the Cowtown Warrior Ball was a $5,000 table to be in amongst 7 generals and CEOs. I mean, it was the top of the Fort Worth Club, which is a nice club here in Fort Worth. There was a couple hundred people sitting at all these tables, and they all were people who could afford $5,000 tables, just to put it in perspective. So you just got to get yourself in those rooms. Let's go up for next. We have Steve Wallace.
Hey, everybody. Steve Wallace, Chief Revenue Officer with Maverick App, a prospecting automation machine. And guys, my question for you is this. For the people who are aware that they're in a networking conversation, not a referral, an introduction created by networking, and you identify that you have an opportunity to help the person professionally that you're speaking with, what advice do you have for people that don't want to get pitch slappy or salesy right there in that call? How do you pivot to a sales conversation?
Freaking awesome question. So here's what I have a personal belief for me. Every virtual coffee, every one-on-one is a sales call. Okay. But let me explain this, because I'm not purposely sitting down with somebody trying to sell them anything. My goal, and first and foremost, is to see who the hell I can introduce them to. What doors can I open up? If during the conversation, I find out that they may be a good fit for what I do, I'm going to instantly pivot with permission. So Steve, this is permission-based selling. So I'm going to instantly, in the middle of that call, I'll go, you know what? This is supposed to be a get to know you, let me open doors for you. but I really think I can help your business. Is it okay if we transition and I tell you further about what we could do to help your company? And no is 100% okay. You got to put the no is 100% okay in there so you don't get pitch slappy. And then you got to respect that no. If they say no, let's just keep this an introductory one, yada, yada, cool. But if they give you permission to move forward, immediately pivot it into a direct sales conversation and go, what I heard is X. This is how we can solve that for you. Right. And that's worked really, really, really well. And when I think people forget it during these virtual coffees, is they're sitting down just doing get to know yous, right? Don't do just get to know yous. Have a point, open doors. And if they're a fit for you, pivot the conversation and you'll find it works really, really well. Kevin?
Yeah, I tend to ask lots of questions, and because of my personality type, I want to understand how things are working, what they're doing. So, as they are asking me about my business and what I do with in the time on target side with sales and marketing automation, I'll usually be asking them questions about what they're doing with it in their business. So when I give examples, I can literally talk to them about, hey, here's, like for you said this, here's one of the things that how you could use automation. So I'm now pouring into their business and giving them a ton of information that they can go use. Never once do I bring up price. Never once do I talk about how I can do that for them, or, us working together and me being their guy for that stuff. But, if I'm doing it right and I'm pouring into their business and I'm giving them all kinds of information on how they can use my expertise to build their business and be more successful, eventually they're going to pivot the conversation on their own. And they're going to say, all right, so, what would it look like to actually work with you? Because this is freaking amazing. You've given me so much stuff. What it would look like to actually have you do this? And then I will do that same pivot as Donnie. It's like, I did not come into this meeting to sell you on my services. I just really wanted to get to know you and really help you grow your business. Is it okay if we now kind of have a sales conversation and we talk money and stuff like that? Because that way you're still honoring the idea of what the meeting was supposed to be. Otherwise, if you don't do that and you just literally jump in once they say, well, what do it look like to work with you? And you literally go into, well, here's my pricing and here's how it works and all that stuff. And they buy. After the meeting, they might look back and say, what just happened? I literally thought this was going to be a networking thing. And now I just signed up to have this person do email marketing for me for the next 6 months. What the F?
Right.
So you need to get them to say, yes, please, let's have this conversation. I so want to talk about this right now, because now you're off the hook. Now they're going to feel good with the conversation they're about to have. And it's going to end a lot better than if you go pitch without the permission. Because here's what happens if you pitch without permission. They're going to go back to the person that made that introduction, say, who the hell did you just introduce me to? He came in and he literally just pitched me and tried to close me on email marketing. Please don't introduce me to any more of your friends.
Yeah. Yeah. So to add in, I mean, the key to this, guys, is you've got to go in this without the expectation of selling a damn thing. It's a sales call, but you're going in, can I disqualify this person from working for me for sure? Can I introduce them to somebody? Can I give them enough value where they go, holy shit, I really want to learn more about this. And I really want to understand how we could potentially work together. But whenever they make that move, that's the moment you got to get permission to transition a call. And if you don't get that permission, you're going to have everything Kevin said of the backlash, the pissed offness, and everything else. And they're going to tell everybody you fucking pitch slapped them. So great question, bud. Let's move it over to Nicole Bernardo.
Hello, my name is Nicole Bernardo, and I'm the owner of Cornerstone Virtual Partners. And my question is, what is the best way to find and connect with my ideal client?
I love this. Great question. So what we've found a lot recently is, and I'm just of this philosophy, that broke people play on Facebook, people with money play on LinkedIn, right? So if you want broke entrepreneurs and business owners, go play on Facebook. If you want business owners and entrepreneurs that have money, go play on LinkedIn. The thing I'm most fascinated with right now is the groups in LinkedIn are a prime prospecting ground. So in LinkedIn, you can actually go type in, groups, whatever your industries are you're going after, and you can even get specific to cities in those groups. And while in those groups, you can literally go through and message anybody else that's a member of that group on a free account, and it doesn't cost you a freaking dime. So it just says, hey, you're both a member of XYZ group, and now you can start conversations. What we're telling everybody in SEN is use SEN as your leverage point to get the conversation started. So you can literally say, hey, Joe, I'm a member of SEN, insert your city, and we are a primarily B2B focused networking group that specializes in manufacturing, distribution, IT, and we are looking for people specifically in your industry that would make sense for us to invite and have visit. The great thing about using SEN as that initial reach out is you're not saying, hey, Joe, I do XYZ. I see you're in that industry, my ideal prospect. You're reaching out using SEN as that buffer point to get them to connect with you. If they connect with you, invite them to the group. What a great way to get introduced for somebody over time is to spend some time with them in a group. So we found the LinkedIn groups are fantastic. I would also tell you public speaking where your ideal audience is the most masterful thing. And then a third thing I would add in there is getting on podcasts that are specifically targeted to your industry and teaching them all the knowledge and the things you have. Kevin?
Yeah, you've taken all the good ones. So, yeah, LinkedIn is really key, and I still really love LinkedIn, even though it's become a cesspool for really bad pitches and cold calling.
Like literally yesterday, we're working on the Monday lives, and we're trying to figure out what's going to be a pitch slap. And I literally went, well, shit, I got the pitch slap because I got one right there as we were freaking working on one. So,
but
crazy.
For me, I think it's still a really awesome way to connect. And when I am reaching out to someone that I want to connect with because they are an ideal client for me, they are a potential person who can introduce me to my ideal clients. I literally, I don't do the standard, hey, I think it'd be great to connect, or LinkedIn said we should connect because we have mutual friends. I don't do any of that. I will actually go in and find something that they posted. And I'll find comments that they made and find something that's like, oh, that was pretty smart. That was kind of genius. And I'll reference it. Hey, I saw this comment you made on so-and-so's post about this, and I thought it was really cool. And I'd love to connect. And I just leave it really open like that. And there's no, hey, I'd love to talk to you about, email marketing or how you can leverage this or none of that stuff. I just like, hey, you said this and I really liked it. Let's connect. So that's how I do it on LinkedIn when I want to grow my contact list. And then I will wait for them and I'll post for them to post more stuff. And then I'll reply to it. It's like, oh, cool. Hey, and then I'll ask and I'll get them so they can explain more and they can keep putting their ideas out. And so they continue to look better on the platform. Podcasts are amazing. That was a big thing for me. I've actually had people like, yeah, I heard you on such and such a podcast. I'm like, oh, people actually listen to these. This is awesome. So, podcasts are cool. And the cool thing about podcasts is that they're actually going to help you figure out how to tell your story. And Donnie told me this before I got on my first podcast, and I listened to him, but I didn't really believe him. And then I started going on podcasts and making appearances, and I'd be telling the story, and the announcer or the host.
Use your words, Kevin.
The host. I used a word. It just wasn't the right word. The host would be like, oh, tell me more about that. And so I started understanding the parts of my story that were resonating with people. And I was able to start really focusing on how I highlighted those. And every time a host would find a new thing that they wanted to talk about, that would be a reminder for me. So I started really listening and figuring out how the host was reacting. And that was now guiding how I was telling my stories and the things I was talking about, because I knew I would get the right reaction. So, when you use podcasts, just don't go on to them to be on them. Make sure you're going on and you're afterwards, you're thinking about, all right, so what were the things we got talked about and that they really nerded out on? Because that's going to be really key. And that's going to be something you're going to want to look at. How do you add that into your marketing messaging in general? How do you utilize that on social media for posts and different communications? So the podcasts are huge.
Yeah, they've worked wonders, and it's amazing if people just freaking listen to me every once in a while. Good shit comes out of my mouth. It's crazy. Let's go with Leela Smith.
Hey y'all, my name is Leela Smith, owner of Etta and Associates Insurance Agency. And my question is, with all the networking that everybody's doing and the follow-ups and having the conversations, how do you keep everything in order, specifically with those folks that you want to continue and grow relationships with and also potentially do business with?
So two ways we do. One, we use Entreport, which is our biggest, baddest CRM that we use. But we just also started using Monday.com and their lowest tier version of their CRM. It's the stupidest, simplest freaking CRM I've ever played with. And you can make it to fit. I mean, literally, you got three guys that don't like tracking stats and sales and everything, and all three of us are now in there tracking stats and sales and stuff. So, but it's really, really simple. All we're doing is we put the person's name, what activity we did. So we're using LinkedIn for all of our reach outs and things like that. And we're put on there. It literally says, we reached out, they responded, we invited, whatever the next thing. And it's all just quick drag and drop boxes. Stupid simple. So what I would tell you is have your big main CRM that you keep everything in, and then keep your more prospecting kind of tracking stuff in a secondary CRM, that when they're ready to move into the bigger program, you can automatically upload them into the system. But Kevin's going to handle this one better.
So Entreport is our marketing automation tool. So we purposely don't add any of the leads in there because we don't want to accidentally email them stuff from our permissive system where they is like, oh, I don't want this stuff, and they block us because that affects our deliverability. So we keep them out of there specifically. So Monday we basically have set up like a spreadsheet. So you can totally use just a Google sheet or an Excel spreadsheet, and you just list out your partners and the people you're doing virtual coffees with and people you're interacting with. And you can, you can set up a column for last time you met, next time you're meeting, to-dos, next steps, notes. You can everything right there. So it's really simple to use. Before I started using Entreport as kind of my central place for everything, I did the same thing in Zoho, my CRM, because the actual CRMs are designed more so for doing that. And you can put in your leads, and then you can set up, hey, my next task is I need to do this. And now you have your to-do list and all your info right there, and you can log everything. But the key is you got to find the one that works for you. Some people are absolutely good working in a tool like Zoho or Pipedrive or something like that. Other people just want a spreadsheet. Some people do notes on a tablet yet, but you got to find the process that works for you. But the key things you need to track are who it is, the last time you talked, next time you have scheduled to talk, and then what are the next steps? What needs to get done? Otherwise, you're going to look back. It's like, oh, I haven't heard from this person for a while. I'm meeting with someone tomorrow that we've kind of been working on what our referral relationship's going to look like. And I'm like, oh, I do not remember what we're supposed to be talking about. Because it's been a couple months since we've chatted. Now I got to go back and look in my notes and see where I put all that stuff and figure out what exactly what's going on tomorrow. But you got to keep those notes, and then you have to look at them. That is the other key thing. You just can't have this really cool spreadsheet where you keep all this stuff if you don't then use it afterwards to say, all right, so what do I need to do? Where are we at? You can do some color coding on it. It's like green, I've taken care of it. Red, it's been, I'm 2 weeks late, whatever it is. You actually then have to use that information.
Good stuff. All right, Miss DeFranco.
Hey guys, I'm the CEO of Brave Healer Productions. We publish for holistic health and wellness professionals. I've got a two-parter for you guys, something that happened just yesterday. This is so perfect.
She always, have you noticed, Donnie? She always comes to the table with two-part questions.
Yes, every time.
This one was complicated and it was the first time for me. So about 15 minutes into the 30 minutes I knew that we had, I figured out that the guy was a gatekeeper for the guy I really needed to talk to. So part one in the question is there a way that you guys figure that out ahead of time and work around it? Or, I mean, I won the test and I got the conversation with guy number 2. So that's cool for me. But man, it's just a waste of time and I don't want to waste my time anymore, you know? So that's part one.
Cool. So for me, it's very much like I reach out to be on a podcast and they're like, hey, we're going to do a pre-interview. No, I'm out. I don't have time to do a damn pre-interview. Let's get to it. So the first thing I would tell you is now as I continue to move on, I try and get a little bit more tough on who I'll actually meet with. So even if I get introductions, I'm going to go research the background of the individual before I say 100% yes to that first meeting. And I'm going to oftentimes, so 2 people will make an introduction to me. I will oftentimes connect with the person they introduced me to in another thing. And I will ask, hey, I love the fact that we were introduced. What do you think will come out of us grabbing that virtual coffee, or what are we going to accomplish on that call? And what I found in there is if there's a gatekeeper moment, they're going to tell you right then and there that their job is to screen this conversation out for the next person. So oftentimes I'll still take the call because I now know what I'm going to do to figure out who else they're gatekeeping for, not just the one person, because likely they got a couple people they're doing this for. So, but I'm going to go into the conversation a different way, and I'm going to go straight around the person to the person I need to get to, because now I know the main target.
I like that question. That's perfect.
Yeah, and I think you need to look at, if you get set up with a gatekeeper, you can't necessarily look at it as wasting your time, because as you go bigger in the business world, the key decision makers have figured out how to insulate themselves so that because they know their time is precious, and they have the same amount of time as we do to get their stuff done. So they're protecting their calendar, just like Donnie and I do a lot now. So, they're going to have those key people doing that. So sometimes that is how you get to them, unless you have a contact that you share that can do a personal introduction and say, hey, Donnie, you really need to meet with this person, to get them to take that immediate call. So, in sales, I had to do that all the time. I'd have to meet with like a chief information officer or a chief tech officer before I could get to the CEO, who actually controlled the money and was going to make the decision. I had to get that key advisor on my side to say, yeah, we totally need to do stuff with Kevin because he's badass, because they had a say in the decision-making process. It wasn't just letting me into the door to the CEO. They were actually vetting if what I said would actually help their organization. So sometimes those calls are really key. Plus, that's another person in your network. If they're working with that high level of an individual, helping protect their calendar, who else are they interacting with? Who is that CEO or that decision maker having meetings with that is also interacting with this person, that now can potentially, if they get to know and like and trust you, can say, oh, you got to meet this badass Laura DeFranco. She would totally be able to help you with some stuff, and they're going to be able to start making introductions for you as well. So, it's not always a waste of time. It's just a different type of opportunity. But the key is understanding that that's the opportunity you're walking into.
Cool. And what's the second part?
I like that perspective. That's definitely the case in this case. I was grateful for the meeting overall. Part two was he obviously was trained well and was asking a lot of great questions, and I could barely get a question in reciprocation, because y'all have trained me well. I want to know about him too, and I want to know what doors I can open up for him. But what do you do about people who don't even let you get a chance to do that? It was nuts. I had to interrupt.
Yeah, so that's the move, is the interrupt. I will literally, if they're coming at me and they're taking over the conversation, I'm like, hold on. I can't understand how to answer your questions unless I know what the background here and why I'm answering them. So do me a favor. Let's do this. My phrase, let's do this, is my quick command of the conversation, which really transitions it well. Why don't you tell me about me and tell me about you, how you got where you are, and then what you hope to get out of this as we move forward. And then I will pause and shut up. And they say, no. I'm like, no, I'll tell you my story. And I will plant my feet and say, I'll tell you my story. But so I know how to position myself, I need you to go first. Okay. And just that phrase, let's do this, interrupts the thing, because now it says, hey, we're fixing to have a different kind of conversation. And that's worked really, really well for me.
Yeah, mine pretty much the exact same process. I usually do the, hey, I love talking about myself and I can totally do this, but I really came to this meeting because I wanted to understand about you and get to know you as well. So, and then we go into the let's do this type piece.
Yeah.
So, it's literally, you have to interrupt and say, hey, this isn't the meeting I expected. I am totally cool answering your questions, but we need to shift the atmosphere in here a little bit. We need to shift the environment that we're having this conversation in, because I'm afraid we're going to leave and both of us aren't going to be happy with the outcome.
Love it. Love it. Let's move over to Amanda.
Good morning. My name is Amanda Costura. I'm the founder and president of the nonprofit Carve Your Own Path. We provide holistic mental health and wellness services and education. I totally agree on the introducing and making connections first as the primary way, to build business. And for me, that's been a reason that many folks stay top of mind for me, is because they are master connectors, as I would identify them. What are other things that you've noticed throughout your experience are reasons that people stay top of mind for other folks?
So it can be simple things. It can be, they're a part of some sort of nonprofit and you introduce people. So maybe they sit on a board for another nonprofit or something. You introduce people to that. You find out that they're part of other associations or other things they're involved with. You go to one of their events as their guest. But introductions are always going to be the best way to stay top of mind. Handwritten notes go a long way. Out of the blue, just drop a handwritten postcard or a note. Somebody in SCN just sent me a handwritten note the other day, and I was like, holy shit, that was actually kind of cool. So it's the little things. Send them a freaking greeting card on a day they wouldn't get it, like Groundhog's Day. Send them a greeting card. Say happy Groundhog's Day. Just random things that get and keep you out there.
Taylor Merritt from the Avalon Connections group, she literally sent Donnie and I little Christmas tree ornaments. His was a Harry Potter one. Mine is, I have mine back there too. Mine was a Boba Fett from Star Wars one with a handwritten note. She's like, saw these, I thought they're cute, thought of you. I want to thank you for everything you've done to help us with our business. And, that was really important. But the key way that you stay top of mind for someone else is you need to keep them top of mind for you. And you have to be putting them out there because if the more you're saying, hey, I got this person I want to introduce you to. Hey, I know you're involved with this and I met so-and-so. Hey, I'm doing this thing. I'd love to have you a part of it. The more you are thinking about them and asking them a ton of questions and getting them involved and getting them in front of people, they're going to naturally just keep thinking about you because you are doing so much for them. So to keep the other person, to stay top of mind for them, you got to keep them top of mind for you. You can't just meet with them once and say, all right, so now you need to be sending me introductions. You need to be in their, got to be in their face.
Oh, awesome. Carolina.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Carolina Martin, owner of the Bomb Parties, connecting people through the creative process. My question, Donnie, is I have learned and still learning to function on LinkedIn, but I've been talking with people about Alignable as a separate, and some say people respond more quickly on there. What are your feelings about Alignable?
So I have a hate relationship with Alignable, but I know several people who actually really love it and found a whole lot of success. Like I know Keith has personally found a lot of success on Alignable. I just don't have time to dish through all the MLMers and network marketers and direct sales folks and the like. I just don't have time to deal with it. So if you're willing to go like you're going to a Goodwill store and dig through the shit piles to find the one hidden gem, like the one t-shirt that's worth millions of dollars in a pile of 3,000 t-shirts, it's good. I would tell you that if you really want Alignable to be successful, grab time with my brother Keith and have him show you how he works it, because I'm pretty sure he uses the private groups and such and finds a lot of gems in there.
Cool.
So cool. Let's move on to David Visco, and then we can get this thing wrapped up today. David, throw your question out, brother.
Hey, everybody. Great session, guys. David Visco here from Your Business Made Easy. I'm a profit acceleration strategist that helps six-figure service businesses get to seven figures without spending more on advertising or marketing. And my question is, there's so many different social platforms out there, right, that we're told to show up on, just like Alignable, SCN Online, which is the best of them, LinkedIn, various groups and whatever. How do you suggest that we stand out in such a busy field such that we actually get that conversation that we're looking to have?
Yeah, so I'm so stoked. We're fixing to interview Leah Turner on our podcast, which is one of the biggest LinkedIn influencers I know. And she did the most brilliant thing in the world I'm going to tell all of you guys to actually do. She built a LinkedIn following up towards of almost 180,000 people following her on LinkedIn. Okay. Just brilliant. She was at about 150, 160,000 followers before she even attempted another social media platform. But when she went from 150,000 followers on LinkedIn and went over to Instagram, she just posted on LinkedIn, hey guys, I'm starting an Instagram account, and boom, boom, it blew up. Then she said, hey, I'm going to freaking Twitter. And, I want to say 150,000 people followed her on Twitter, but it was no shabby thing that all those people followed her. So I would tell you to honestly turn off the damn noise, pick one platform, make that your main platform, and go all the fuck in on it. Kevin?
Yeah. And then you have to share that. You have to, when you are on a podcast, that has to be your go-to for people to connect with you. When you are doing workshops live, wherever you are going out there where people are seeing your content, you have to be pushing that one profile. And driving people to it. It can't be, here's 10 different ways that you can connect with me, because it's going to be overwhelmed for people, and they're not going to pick any of them. So, usually when I'm on a podcast, the way I give them LinkedIn, and then I also give them the free gift where they can text in and get into my world directly that way, where then I can send them more ways to follow us and do stuff with us. But I will send it out one at a time. It's like, hey, follow me on my podcast. Hey, go follow me here. So they aren't feeling like they have to go to multiple things to do it all at once. So, pick that one, but then get it out there everywhere. It needs to be whenever you're doing an appearance somewhere, that it has to be on the screen, at Kevin E. Snow, LinkedIn, whatever it is, you have to make it prominent.
That's it. So guys, we're going to wrap it up there. This has been a lot of fun. It's the first time doing this, and I think it went pretty damn well. So thank you guys for all the questions. If you guys are listening or watching this and you want to check out one of our groups, just go to successchampionnetworking.com and you can request to visit one of our chapters out there and see all the cool things that we're into. So as always, wherever you're listening to this at or watching to this, please leave us a review. Those reviews, those 5-star ratings and a review out there, man, they do so much for us, helping us trying to find more audience, more listeners, and the things on there. So leave us a 5-star rating, leave us a review on there with Apple Podcast and Spotify being the biggest one. Make sure you subscribe to us on wherever you're listening to this. And as always, love you, mean it. See you, bye.